Sorry, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie. All right, everyone. So since we did not have our meeting on January 25th and we were off the month of December, welcome back. This is the Tuesday, February 15th Ambulance Committee of New York City REMSCO. Welcome back, everyone. First item on the agenda is the approval of the November 16th, 2021 meeting minutes. Did everyone get a chance to review them? I see everyone shaking their head. Do we have an approval? I'm sorry, I don't know who spoke.
Yeah, Vinny, did we do a roll call?
Oh, no, we did not. Let me do attendance. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you checked attendance already. Okay.
Yeah, I did it, but I didn't call it out, so I should do that. Let me just pull it up on my screen. Ambulance. Okay. Okay, please answer when I call your name. Doug Jacob or Ari Weiss.
Present.
Grace Cacciola.
Here.
Mitch Powell or William Goffin. Daniel Mizels or Rory Gutzman.
Here, present. Here.
Rob Bristol.
Good evening, present.
Good evening. John Johnstone. I know I saw John here before. John Johnstone. Okay. I'll wait until he comes back. Okay. David Mikatansky.
Present.
James Downey or Travis
Present.
Kessel. Okay. Scott Olansky.
Present.
Hey, Scott. Martina Barcarella.
Present.
Vincent Baranco.
Present.
Nancy Benedetto. Aditya Langsam.
Present.
And Brian Levinsky.
Present.
Okay, great. Definitely have a quorum. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vinny.
On Johnstone, I'm not sure if you got me or not.
Who's that?
John Johnstone.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you before. Okay, now you're on.
Okay. So now that everyone's here, anyone else? Not hear their name? All right. First item on the agenda is the approval of the November 16th, 2021 meeting minutes. Did everyone get a chance to review them? Yes. Does anyone have anything to add? No? Okay.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Dave. Moving on is the correspondence report. Marie, do you have the correspondence report?
Yes, just before we go forward, when you get a motion to approve or disapprove something, you always ask for a second, and then after the second, then we vote.
Baranco.
Just getting you used to these wonderful rules that we have. So Vinny seconded that motion.
Thank you, Vinny. So Dave and Vinny, thank you both.
Okay.
Ask if anybody opposes, anyone abstains, and if no one opposes, abstains, you can move it by acclamation without a vote.
All right. Okay, so does anyone oppose? Does anyone abstain? No one? I'm looking at the screens. All right. It carries on.
We got to get you ready to, become chair of council. You got to learn all these rules.
Okay.
I know, horrible thought, right?
All right, the correspondence report.
Okay, correspondence. There really is no correspondence for ambulance. We haven't gotten any new information from the fire department. Nothing that relates to ambulance other than the New York State council awards are going to be posted again, so start thinking about who you want to nominate. Oh, I just noticed Chief Scallion is here. Scallon, just wanted to welcome you back after a hiatus of many years from council.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're delighted to be back.
Like friends. I have all you guys are my friends, so I'm happy to be back.
Good. No new information regarding agencies, though I have been getting in, Joe Farrell is sending out the new ambulance operating certificates, which we're all getting electronically now. You're not getting them in paper anymore. And that's pretty much it. At the next meeting, we'll be talking about proposed Article 30 revisions and the letter we sent to Commissioner Bassett. So that's it for correspondence report.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the review of applications for transfer of operating authority. Are there any new applications?
No, there are no new applications.
Okay. Are there
Thank
any
goodness.
applications for public need?
No, there are no new applications for a public need either.
Okay, and I'm not sure if Jerry is here or Dave. Dave is here for the tag reports, ambulance committee tag reports.
Jerry did those. I wasn't with him on those. Sorry.
Okay, but we can still, where are my agendas? Come on. This is making me crazy. Sorry, just give me 1 second to get the ambulance agenda. There it is. First, to go back, I know there are no ambulance authority applications or determinations of public need, but just to let you know that all the CONs that we did are all under appeal right now in Albany. We may not get to them for a year or so because I think Department of Health has 10 appeals going on. So it's going to be a while. So
Which
none of
ones are
them-
under appeal?
The ones that we did, the Bay Community, Forest Hills, Ridgewood, and I thought there was another one, but at least those three. I can't tell you which ones from out of New York City are. I can get that, but I don't know them right now.
So everything that we approved or disapproved is on hold pending DOH appeal decision
well,
process.
Either the applicant appealed it or somebody who didn't like the decision appealed it. In any event, everything is held until they get a administrative law judge to review everything, and then they'll start asking us for information, which I'm really looking forward to. So,
Sounds like a lot of fun.
oh,
The fourth one for New York City was Glen Oaks.
oh, Glen Oaks, okay. So this, yeah, there are 4 of them, so. Okay, now I'm sorry, tag reports, and I want to let all of you know that we now have a new staff member, Michelle, who's here, so welcome her. She's my new operations person. She met the REMAC before, and now she's meeting all of you. And she's going to be helping with the tags on this committee so that you have a little more support to have some action on those tags.
Yeah, welcome, Michelle.
Hello, everyone. Pleased to meet you.
Welcome aboard. Okay, so is there any unfinished business? Unfinished business?
Question, anything further on the security sticker tag?
That, I was just going to mention that, that's one of the tags that we need to make active again. I'll be working with Michelle and with Vinnie Branco, who's the chair of that tag, to move forward on that, to make our decisions on what the security stickers will have and whether or not we'll be reprinting them. We did have a discussion with Mr. Johnstone from Police Department, so he may be, and I'm trying to remember exactly what that discussion was, that perhaps Police Department was interested in supporting security stickers, but we'll clarify that at our next tag meeting.
I do remember seeing that somewhere as well.
Yeah, we were talking about whether there was a real use for the security stickers. And I personally didn't think that there was going to be much use for it, but then after hearing committee members speak about how they thought there was a use for it, and then the police department expressing some interest in possibly maintaining them for security purposes, we need to have additional discussion. So we will do our best to have a meeting with the tag at least once before our next ambulance meeting.
Yeah, Marie, we were working with NYPD and FDNY. I was on for FDNY. NYPD said that their tech people were willing to support it. Unfortunately, then we had the second wave of COVID, so everything went on standby. So I do not have anything on the FDNY side as of yet. I have not been able to bring that up to my tech people.
Okay, yeah, COVID just pretty much derailed a lot of what we had started, and we're trying to pick up the pieces right now. But we'll definitely reach out to you, Grace, and to John to let's meet again, maybe in a week or so. We'll set up something.
Yeah, I'll call you after the meeting, Marie.
Okay.
Okay.
And are there any other tags? I don't think we had any other active tags right now.
I don't think so either. Okay. Any unfinished business? Hearing none. Any new business? No new business?
It's the beginning of the year. Does anybody have any ideas for us? Any goals? Any projects that we should be working on?
Crickets?
Okay.
All right.
Security stickers is going to be a pretty big deal, so maybe it's better that we just focus on one item.
Okay, so motion to adjourn?
I
So
second.
moved. Motion.
Okay, we'll see you back here at 6 o'clock for council meeting.
Can it be this quick?
See everybody.
Hmm?
See everybody at 6.
Yeah, you don't have to close it. It's the same link. So just close your cameras and go mute and go hang out somewhere for a while.
Can we make sure the meeting is just as quick?
I can't make any promises, but I'm hoping.
Scott, it depends how much you're going to talk.
That's not going to be much. I promise you that.
All depends on you. I sent you a message. Please respond.
Yes, I saw it. No problem.
Bye.
Oh, did he tell you to be quiet? Okay. Bye. See you.
Marie, it's 6:01. You want to please look around to see if we have an informal quorum before we start officially?
Yes. Yes, I believe we have a quorum. We can do a roll call if you'd like.
Okay, can everyone please, who's not talking, please mute themselves or make me a co-host. I'll go around muting people as needed. And anyone, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday, February 25th, 2022 Regional EMS Council of New York City meeting. We are meeting under the provision of the governor's executive order to allow us to meet despite the open meeting law by both recording, which we are doing if you check your upper right-hand corner, and live streaming on YouTube. So the meeting is legal and we will continue from this point. At the first item on the agenda is to have a roll call. Marie, please conduct a roll call of the REMSCO.
Okay. Doug Jacob or Ari Weiss?
Dove Jacob, present.
Thank you. Grace Cacciola,
Here.
Stacy Scanlon,
Here.
Samia McEachin,
Here.
Dominic Battinelli.
I'm here.
Hey, Dominic, nice to see you.
You too.
Rory Gutzman,
Here.
Rob Bristol,
Here.
John Johnstone,
Here.
Travis Kessel,
Here.
David Mekitansky.
Jerry Gelbard is.
Oh, you're here,
taking-
Jerry. Okay.
Yeah,
Joseph Shanker,
I have arrived at my destination.
okay. Scott Olansky,
Still here.
Morty Lax,
Here.
Martina Barcarella,
Here.
Nancy Benedetto, Vincent Baranco,
Vincent Baranco, present.
Arthur Cooper, Robert Krupe,
Here.
Megan Kessel,
She's also here, just having some computer issues, but she's here.
come back to her when she can announce herself. Manfred Fuchs,
Here, good evening.
Sean Graves, Jerry Gumbo,
Yeah, how are you?
hello. Udija Langsam,
Present.
Brian Levinsky,
Here.
Dennis Laurie, Mitch Powell. Okay, so Mitchell Powell, Dennis Laurie, Megan Kessel. Is she able to answer yet? Art Cooper, and I see Danny Mizels is here also, right?
They need to answer for the record. If they don't answer,
I did. You didn't call me before. I am here.
I know, because I didn't see you. I thought it was just Rory. Okay, so the only person that needs to answer is Megan. So as soon as she gets her computer working, she can answer, but we have a quorum.
thank you very much. First item on the agenda is the approval of the November 16th, 2021 meeting minutes. You recall that the January 25th meeting was canceled. The minutes were sent to all members of REMSCO. I assume you've had a chance to review them. Are there any comments, corrections, deletions, or discussions? Hearing none, a motion to accept the minutes as written is in order.
Motion to accept as written.
Thank you. Second, please, someone.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any abstentions? Are there anyone voting against? Please mark them as being unanimously accepted. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the correspondence report. Correspondence report is as follows. Nothing new about membership, nothing new from FIDNA EMS. DOH lets us know that their New York State EMS Council Awards for the 2022 Vital Signs Conference, which will be held in Albany this year from October 27th, 30th at the Empire State Plaza in Albany, New York. There is a link. Marie, you'll send out that link with the minutes.
Yes.
In terms of New York State DOH enforcements, there are no new enforcements. EMS disciplinary actions enforcement action page where you can see everything that the state is doing. Again, there is a link which will be distributed with the minutes. Thank you. There is no new information. EMS agencies, New York City's REMSCO specialty course sponsor, that is our own renewal, was submitted to DOH, and course sponsors in our region have been submitting renewals and will be reviewed. The Office of the Council sent the following correspondence: agendas, minutes, and associated attachments, which included, among other things that we will talk about later. Number one is a letter to the New York State DOH Commissioner urging maintenance of regional autonomy for both the REMSCOs and the REMACs. And in addition, a correspondence was sent regarding the proposed Article 30 revisions. We will discuss these two items later on. Are there any questions on the correspondence report? Hearing none, we move to the staff report. Emergency preparedness update, Scott.
Sorry, fighting the mute button. Staff provided support during the OEM weather events activation in January. We continue to work with FEMA and DISHES on DR 4480 COVID-19 for the volunteer ambulances activation during May 2020. All timesheets sent back to REMSCO were uploaded to FEMA. We have regular bi-weekly status meeting with FEMA and DISHES on this project, and we're looking to close this out shortly. SurgeX 2022, it's an area healthcare coalition exercise that is sanctioned by Assistant Secretary of Preparedness, ASPR, and from Health and Human Services in conjunction with the New York City DOHMH. It is in the final planning stage. This exercise where REMSCO participate will be simulating rapid evacuation of 11 area hospitals and related healthcare facilities. Our staff will be manning the simulation cell during this exercise, representing the patient transportation sector, also including other non-ambulance transporting assets. And the report.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for Scott? Okay, thank you. Hearing none, we move on to the program agency update. Marie Diglio.
We just received word today from program agencies that it appears that the state may be renewing us as a program agency and regional council for the next 2 years. They have, the DOH has gotten some new staff, especially financial staff, that are working really well with council staff, which is, it's a relief. So Scott is starting to handle all those finances with the program agency. I have nothing else to report at this time.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for Marie? Hearing none, we move to the ambulance committee report. Martina.
Okay, the ambulance committee met February 15, 2022. There were no new transfer of operating authority certificate requests. There were also no new certificate of needs. There was discussion over the security sticker tags, and that's currently still being worked on. More information will follow on that. And there was nothing else going on, no unfinished business to report, no new business either.
Thank you very much. Meeting was well run, I must say. Do anyone have any questions for our chair of our ambulance committee? Thank you very much. Hearing none, we move on. Training and Education Committee report. More relaxed.
Training and Ed met this past Friday, February 11th. We welcomed Dr. Lauren Kosterko, who joined the committee. Just an update on the regional protocol updates. 3,600 EMTs and about 1,000 medics done. So just in the last week alone, since REMAC, probably about another 1,500 people completed it. So what else did we talk about? We tried to set a cadence, not tried, we set a cadence for future meetings. They're going to be held at 1 p.m. on the same Tuesdays as REMAC meetings. So we'll be able to report at the REMAC. We have a tag that I mentioned, I believe, at the last meeting. Oh, no, probably not, because we didn't have one. So we have a tag that's researching a new LMS to replace the one we have to get us into this millennium. And so we're going to have a little bit more definitive information at the next meeting. There are some options on the table. We're going to whittle them down a little bit more before then. There was some discussion about regional CME. In that vein, one thing that came up was not having a very practical way necessarily for people to upload and for people to visualize at the same time regional CME that's happening, that's being hosted by agencies. So we are looking at possible solutions for that. And we are also, we have a tag working on a regional CME that we're going to host in collaboration with the QA committee based on the QA study and the results from the stroke and STEMI survey. There is a CLI class coming up that's being hosted by BMCC that's going to be next month, and another CLI class to be announced by LaGuardia. And we continue to look for content for CME and people to present from agencies so that we can do them both live and static. End of report.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for Maury?
2 questions, please. This is Jim Downey. For the 2022 protocol update for the CME recertification program, that would go under core preparatory?
So we weren't actually able to put that on the certificate because of the way that this LMS works. It only allowed you to put a generic number. But I believe that these would have to be elective because it covers such a wide range of topics.
And second question, the certificate that was produced did not indicate the instructor or their CIC number that authorizing it.
Correct. So you can, so we can send that out. Unfortunately, this LMS is not robust enough to be able to put that out. One of the reasons why we're replacing it, but I will ask Marie to send out that information. So it'll have my CIC number. And we'll send that information out with the fact that it is good for that same amount of time that it says on the certificate for core research CME for state.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Are there any other questions? Thank you very much.
I just wanted to say thank you to the Training and Ed Committee and also our staff, Joe and Scott and Michelle, for working on this LMS, doing research to try and get us a good product that we can use for the region, and hopefully we can afford it.
Okay, thank you. I echo my thoughts. Okay, next we move to the REMAC report. Dr. Schenker. You're muted.
I know, I was moving my mouse and it took me a second there. I apologize. The REMAC met on February 8th. First, we sent a letter. This was a letter. I don't know, you did, if you want to talk about this after. or if I can bring it up now.
Why don't you bring it up now? Well, now's as good time as any.
Fine. So the REMAC and the REMSCO sent a joint letter to Commissioner Bassett, and I believe to the governor as well, describing with vehement concern the changes that were proposed to Article 30. There are changes proposed that essentially would give the state even though they have the ultimate responsibility right now, would give them control of even day-to-day activities that we run at a regional level. This obviously is very concerning to regions such as ours, which are very robust and have the ability to manage our own system. It also severely would limit our ability to ramp up and to make changes on the fly or when necessary in the event of another pandemic, another mass casualty event, whatever it might be, to adjust our regional protocols in the immediate with the immediate need. So that said, a letter was written to the commissioner. I believe it was sent out to the members of REMSCO and the members of REMAC. It was signed by both. We are compiling a tag, which I believe could be, I have no problem with it being a tag that is it is shared, but we are looking at a REMAC tag to discuss the proposed changes to Article 30 and how that would affect the region. I think it might be beneficial to have it as a joint REMAC REMSCO tag because there are a lot of both operational and medical components to that. That invite should be, or that request for an invite should be going out to the REMAC tomorrow, hopefully. I have to just clear that up with Marie. And if you agree, we could send that out to the members of this committee as well.
I agree.
The idea is that we would discuss these changes and be more specific with our concerns and complaints. So that's number one, and I think we maybe should discuss that before we move forward, if that's okay.
I assume, Dr. Schenker, you're going to be on that committee?
Yes, I will chair that committee.
And I would like to be on that committee as well.
And I think that's a good idea.
Okay, so go ahead, open it, you can have your discussion.
So again, I'm opening it up to anybody who has any questions. I don't know who here has had a chance to read the changes, but essentially what they do is they give the Bureau of EMS the ability to oversee all decisions. They require us to be uniform with the rest of the state, and obviously there are operational and medical decisions that do not apply in Rochester the same as they apply in New York City. We have different operational as well as medical needs with a volume the size of ours and the population the size of ours. Clearly there are differences. So that's what the letter says, and I open it up for discussion.
Okay, just to add to that, I reported this at the REMAC, that at the last CEMAC meeting, the state took the position, by the state, I mean, the people who are running the Department of Health, the Bureau of EMS, that even things such as advisories, let alone protocols, even such things as advisories need the approval of the state. And what they did was they actually sent it to their legal side, who, of course, your own lawyers tell you what you want to hear. And their own lawyers said the same thing, that even advisories, we could not issue our own advisories without first having the state approval. There was a tremendous pushback by all the doctors from all the regions, not just New York City, who basically passed a motion saying that things like advisories are under the auspices of the local REMACs and REMSCOs, and that the items that were being brought forth did not need the approval, and they wouldn't vote to approve them because they felt they did not need the approval. They didn't want to set a precedent. Nevertheless, as Dr. Schenker just pointed out, in the Article 30 revisions, it appears that they're going to try to put this into law, which basically says, we'll talk in more detail if everyone has a chance to read it, if you haven't yet, basically that there's no really reason to have a REMSCO and a REMAC when the state will do everything on its own. and let us know what to do, including how to use our resources, what resource to give us, what resource to take from us, and all such other things. Basically changing the way we do business. So this is a very important thing. It's interesting that for a change, many of the doctors in the REMSCO and CMAC agreed with New York City rather than taking the opposing point of view. So that was in some ways nice to hear.
Okay. So again, like I said, please stay tuned to your emails. In the next day or two, there will be a request for, I guess a request for interest, kind of an RFI for this tag. If anybody's interested, please let us know, and we will hope to have the meeting of that tag next week or the week after.
Can I just add, for those of you, I know that most people here know of Article 30, have read it, have read Part 800. If you haven't really read it recently, now's the time to get really familiar with Article 30 as it stands, because I think we need to have discussion as to what our Article 30 really means in certain parts, because it's being interpreted very differently by the current Bureau staff. And we'll set that up with the tag, but everyone on the council should really be familiar with Article 30 and Part 800.
And that's homework for everybody. You're going to get a test at the next meeting. So be prepared.
We'll give you CME.
That's not a bad idea, actually. No, I'm serious. That a CME on Article 30 and Part 800 might not be a bad idea. Morty, you might want to consider that. Okay. Dr. Schenker, anything else to report on protocols, anything?
Yes. So just to make everybody clear, the executive committee voted to stand down the viral pandemic protocol, which was in effect since the beginning of the pandemic. It is now stood down. In the event that we have another boom, we would have to reactivate it. There were a few protocol revisions that came forward. A new overdose protocol was passed, which will go up to CMAC, obviously. That is formally was named the Excited Delirium Protocol. It is now, Excited Delirium is now behavioral emergencies. So now there's an overdose protocol and a behavioral emergencies protocol, to be consistent with the language in literature right now about these types of conditions. We will be putting together a tag to develop a New York City regional formulary. This is on the heels of a document that was put together by the protocol committee, which very clearly outlines all of the medications in our protocols, the dosages, how they're used. We are going to add that to a tag to review the New York City regional formulary. From a QA perspective, I guess QA will be presenting, so I'll let Joe do that in a little bit. You heard from Morty. And again, there's a shortage. I ask everyone if they are seeing problems with dextrose or now albuterol, I hear as well. Please let the region know so that we can take that into account and start planning for how we will address this going forward. The next meeting will be on March 8th, and that concludes the REMAC report.
Are there any questions for Dr. Schenker? Hearing none, thank you very much. We now move to the Quality Improvement Committee report. Who's giving that report?
I'll give that report, Dr. Langsam.
Okay.
Not too much to report. The committee has not met since the last REMSCO meeting. Our next meeting is coming up this Monday, or next week on Monday in the afternoon. We are continuing to do our interventions from our 2021 QA study, and focusing in on making sure everything was implemented as part of the protocol updates that has occurred. And we are working closely with the T&E committee on pushing out some additional materials to help improve some of the measures from our STEMI and stroke study.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Joe? I just want to thank you because you've been putting a tremendous amount of effort into this committee to get it going and to keep it going. So thank you very much. Okay, we now move to the State EMS Council report. Dr. Krupe?
Yeah, there's nothing to report. We reported on the last meeting. Next CMAC REMSCO meeting is on April 12th and April 13th.
Any questions for that very brief and informative report?
I don't think you really want to get the report a second time.
Okay. Is there any unfinished business? Marie?
I just wanted to know if Joe wanted to speak a little on the EPCR project, or are we waiting on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any updates on EPCRs really for this meeting. We did bring one additional agency on board, the new NYPD Medical Division. We've onboarded onto our REMSCO EPCR site. We'll have more information to report out on some of the regional things we've been working on.
Thank you. Is there any other unfinished business?
No, not that I, other than we have to finish from ambulance. We already discussed security stickers, and I apologize. I and some of my staff, we all got this COVID corona combo, and we spent a few weeks not really doing all that much, but being sick, at least me. So we're going to try and pick up the pieces and get these subcommittees and tags going again. So definitely security sticker tag will be meeting along with the Article 30 tag.
Good. Glad to hear that you're feeling better. Is there any new business? I'm not aware of any new business, so.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to introduce Michelle to the Regional Council. Michelle Clem is my new operations person. She used to work for us many years ago. And then she went off to have a family, how dare she, and was able to get her back. So she will be working especially with the operations part of council. Be nice to her.
Michelle, show
Hello,
yourself.
everyone.
There you go. Nice to meet you all, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Downey, I have a question.
Yes.
Over the past 2 years, REMSCO has been very effective in supporting ambulance agencies with supplies and other things. A couple of weeks ago, I asked about COVID test kits. Was the REMSCO able to acquire any for distribution to ambulance agencies?
So I'll answer that. We reached out to Test and Trace Corps and via OEM, and Test and Trace has never replied to REMSCO. We also tried some back channeling. Still working on it.
Scott, this is Rob Bristol. Chat with me offline. We'll see what we can do.
Thank you, Rob.
Also, besides the test kits, we still have Narcan. So if you want Narcan, send me an email and we will have it available for you. Or if you're part of the volunteers, ask James Downey. We are still allowed to get it for free. So, you know, why pay for it if we can give it to you? Just call us up.
Okay. Is there any other new business? Hearing none, before I entertain a motion, I just again want to thank everyone on the council. And please go back and thank all your people that you represent, whether they are paid, volunteers, or others, for all the extremely good and hard work that they do for the citizens of New York. It's unfortunate that they're not recognized as much as they should be, but at least we know what we do, and we should be pointing that out to everyone. So thank you. And with that,
no, but what you reminded me, sorry. Just to remind everyone, we are actually going to have an EMS week this year. And we want to set it up to thank all the agencies and EMS providers that really worked their butts off and saved this city over the last 2 years. So our staff is in the planning phase. You're going to be getting letters, all the agencies, asking for support and money. And I really would like to get a tag from the council to work with us on ideas on how to make this a really good recognition for our providers, something that they'll like. I wish we could have it at a different place, but we're going to be having it at council, the building again. We can hold about 200 people. We'll be making some changes as to how we invite people, but look at your email. It's going to be the third Monday in May. I believe it's the 21st. I don't have my calendar in front of me. So just mark the first Monday of EMS week to come up to council, and you'll be seeing information mailed out to you and posted on our website.
Marie, the EMS week is actually May 15th to the 22nd. Rising to the challenge is the slogan, the national slogan. And FDN will be having EMS week also. So if you could pass me on all that information so we can incorporate it into our, make sure that we have representatives there.
Absolutely. Thanks, Stacy. And the same for us. If you have information, we'll gladly post it. And any agency out there that wants us to post their EMS week events, let us know and we will get it on our webpage, front and center.
I know we've, Yadidja and Maria, I know we've gotten very accustomed to these Zoom meetings. Is there a time frame on which we have to return to in person, or can we continue this ad nauseum?
Well, at this point, the governor has continues to pass her executive order. As far as I know, there is no date by which it ends this time. So I'm not sure whether this will go on forever or not. I do think at some point we really want to get to meet in person before we get too comfortable with this meeting from our homes and offices. But at this point, we're not compelled to do so. So, Joe, if you have a strong feeling about this, you should talk to Marie offline and see if we should meet in person.
I honestly don't feel anything anymore. So
I know that's what I'm afraid of. This Zoom thing. No, I'm serious. This Zoom thing has lulled us all into this idea that we can meet in these little boxes, and it certainly affects students terribly, and it certainly affects us and morale. And we should. It's like a drug. Okay. Yes, you can have meetings whenever you want them around the clock, even on days when you're not supposed to have meetings. But on the other hand, you lose the face-to-face type of discussion and friendship and everything that we've been doing. So we have to be careful. So
maybe we could, maybe an idea would be to have statutory meetings in person and the non-statutory meetings via Zoom. This way we could limit the amount of time we have to commute for. I don't know.
And that's certainly an idea. I think we need to think about this. I don't think we'll be doing this by March, but certainly I have to say, if we're going to have an in-person EMS week celebration, then I think we can have an in-person meetings from that point on as well. So maybe that's a target to look at. Okay, this requires more thought. So at this point, unless there are any other comments, if you look at your watch, we would have finished at 6:30 if Marie didn't wake up and find new business to handle. But okay, 6:34 is not too bad. Motion to adjourn would be in order.
Motion.
Okay, second. Have a wonderful month, everyone. See you in a month, if not sooner. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.